how's it going tonight? This is Regweed Rasta coming at you with a little different episode of the Harmonville podcast. We did a Twitter space the other night. It started out as speculation on races and missions, and then kind of just evolved into a chat. So I'm going to post it up here, give it a listen. I hope you all enjoy, and I'll catch you all soon. Here's the Twitter space. Pew.
Yeah, buddy. Lightweight.
Woo woo!
What's good, Rasta?
I had so much ice cream for you
Oh,
tonight.
what's up, Mega?
Subbone.
Yeah, I've crushed a good bit of ice cream today as well. Feeling kind of bloated. Not gonna lie.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely like I got a belly right now, and that's not normal for me. Oh
Which means I'm gonna have a crush on the gym tomorrow.
yeah, just burn a few extra.
Carbo load.
The gym, the gym. I used to go to the gym. I had a friend that was into some bad stuff, and we got him out of the bad stuff and addicted to going to the gym instead.
Oh, that's a great addiction, man.
Yeah, so like, it's usually what I find is you never really cure addiction, you just replace addiction with something. You try to find something better.
Like crypto.
Like exactly.
Yep.
Like gambling, crypto, and ice cream.
Racing Lambos. Shit like that.
I'm really excited.
They're
like-
just you two. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I'm really excited to Twisted Metal out some of my goddamn Lambos.
So I won't say too much. I will say though that we have a new team member who knows their shit in Unity, and some of the functionality that we weren't sure if we would be able to do is really going to be opening up for future deployment. And that's all that I will say is that I'm freaking excited, man.
That's awesome, dude. That's so sweet. I'm glad that you guys found your missing piece, if you will.
Always looking for more, but yeah, we have a really good solid team. And if it wasn't for the test net messing us up, we'd probably be a little bit further ahead. But DevNet is I believe fully migrated, and we're just waiting for I think the final cutscene for the first mission. So
Nice. That's awesome.
yeah, I'm not sure. I think if anybody has access to testnet, the original one, you might. Actually, I think it was pulled down. But you were able to see, I think, of the list of several missions that are coming up. I think there was a sneak of some of them. So
Yeah. I saw the picture going around.
Yeah.
give me the sausage pizza that is. Man, yeah, Sunday night, Father's Day. Might be crickets.
Yeah. I'm thinking it might be. I completely forgot it was Father's Day for like when I set it up.
Yeah, I know how it happens.
I was like, because like I said, like Father's Day was yesterday for me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have my kids today, so I was like completely oblivious to the fact. It's like, oh shit, yeah. We'll give it a little bit of time, and if nobody comes in, we'll just call her and go back to doing what we were doing.
Yeah, let me go to sleep.
Yeah, definitely. Back to work tomorrow.
Oh,
What do you have to get up early?
No,
What time you start your day?
9 o'clock.
Oh, that's not too bad. That's
And
not
get
bad
up
at all.
about 8:30,
Yep. You have a long commute, or you work from home?
No. I work. I travel, but it's not so bad.
No, that's good.
I was hoping to kind of give it up, but I didn't make as much money as I thought. So
Yeah, that's the general consensus right now, man. It's
I'd have carried on working though. I think because you know you can't. I don't want to do this all day.
no. I hear you.
I need to get to the gym as well. I'm putting on weight just doing all this crypto, just looking at screens all day and stuff.
Yeah, I was eating ice cream twice a day, every day for 2 years during lockdown, and I walked past the mirror and I was like, "Whoa!" And then I stepped on a scale and I was like, "Whoa, double whoa!" So I had to get back in check. So I'm feeling better now, though.
I don't want to say what I do, but I worked all throughout all the lockdowns,
Yeah,
every single one of them. So it was
yeah,
just
Yeah.
did loads
I
of overtime.
yeah, I work too, but I stress eat, man.
See, I was pretty lucky too. Like all the restaurants and like shit got shut down. Like up here was a lot different than in the States. I don't really know how much it was like in the UK, but here was like in Ontario where I live, there was like months where all you could do was go to the grocery store.
Hey, boobs.
Boobs, what's up?
Yeah, that sucks. I'm down here in Florida. It never got that bad. I think there was in the beginning. I think there was like 30 days for non-essential businesses to be closed down. I run manufacturing, and my wife has a small business, so we did the best we could to just keep running and keep our team members going. So um, we didn't miss too much. We were able to pivot fairly easily. But so I know some of my friends and connections here they had closed up shop. They just couldn't make it.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
happened up here a lot. Like the restaurants industry. Like I live in a very tourist town. What's up, Jerome? Uh, yeah, like super touristy town. So when all that, like when the borders closed and everything, like we got hit hard. And also, like, not only are we a tourist town, we're also a university town. So nobody was coming for school either. And it was a ghost town for a while, which was really weird. The only people around were like the drug addicted street people. And they were just, it was like a zombie apocalypse, dude. It was the weirdest thing. After the sun went down, you just didn't go out
It was like
because you're like,
Walking Dead.
yeah, man, like our restaurant windows got smashed out
That sucks.
numerous times during the pandemic. And like, yeah, it was literally just like Walking Dead. That's perfect explanation.
Man, I had such high expectations for that series, man. And geez, oh, man, it just once they killed off Rick, or I guess they didn't even really kill him off. Did they ever bring him back? Did anybody ever watch that? The finished the series?
No,
Yeah,
I fell out. I was like,
yeah.
nah.
Once he got captured and taken off into the helicopter, and then like I think it was what Egan or whatever, Keegan or whatever.
Mhm.
I was out after that season. I never went back. It's just the same thing over and over. Just never got any further, and just never built up any depth. It was just all really very surface layer.
Mhm. I realized something today. Like I've been rewatching Stranger Things after finishing the most recent season. Not gonna mention any spoilers, anything like that for anybody who's listening who might not have heard it. But I just want to have has anybody here played the old Super Nintendo game? Uh, why am I spacing on the English one? Earthbound.
No,
No? Or okay, so Earthbound, basically it was this game on the Super Nintendo that was a port over from a Japanese game. And it's about this group of kids whose town gets taken over by this mysterious power. There's an alternate dimension that is basically just like the Upside Down. There's a female character who has psychic powers and defeats the main boss with said psychic powers. And like I'm rewatching it, and all of a sudden I'm like, I've done this in a
So they
game.
just ripped it off.
Well, not even like a ripoff. I think it's a because you know how the whole show is kind of got that homage to like the 80s
Oh,
genre
absolutely.
and
Yep,
the
yep.
80s thing. This was a game from the 80s.
Yeah,
So I think it's kind of like another homage because there
yeah.
are some things that they've done like Elle's character when she dresses up, like one of her outfits is basically the exact same as the pixelated outfit that the female character who's a psychic wears in the game, and I was like,
I'll have to look
oh,
it up.
yeah, it was a really fun game too,
Yeah.
just like an RPG, old school.
I just downloaded Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge. It looks like the original, but it's updated a little bit. It's pretty freaking sweet.
Nice. I love me some Ninja Turtles.
Yep.
I will never turn down the Turtles. But since there's a couple people here, I'll do some mission and race speculation myself, and
Yeah, I'm just
anybody
gonna
can
sit on the sidelines and listen, man. You go
word
ham.
word. So basically, I think missions are going to be pretty lucrative if you happen to have pulled the toolboxes necessary. And I believe old Smith Dog and me have talked about this, and I've been going kind of ham on the toolboxes, or as ham as we can, because from you know testnet, I know testnet is testnet, but from the pictures, it seemed like you can pull some pretty good Hville if you're getting good rolls on these good RNG in these smart contract pulls. Because I'm guessing that any Hville prize from a mission is going to be fully unlocked, unlike earn at this point in time. So you might be able to make a return on your investment on toolboxes a bit faster than your earn upgrade is kind of what I'm speculating at this point. Anybody have any input? You can raise your hand if you want to talk. I'll let you in here, send you a little invite to speak. I'll just send one out to everybody. You can deny it if you want. It's all good. But
I'm
yeah,
I've been a little tied up the last couple weeks, but now I should have a little bit of time. What is the how do I jump onto the test net? Where do I have to go to check things out?
I have only seen a leaked image. I'll try to grab it right now.
Yeah, we had issues with testnet. It was down for I don't know, like 7 8 days after we had deployed and had all of our stuff there. So we spent the last week. It wasn't really a week, but the last couple of days switching everything over to uh, DevNet, and we should be able to continue testing there. I'm going to get with Mc1 probably tonight and figure out where we're at with the final migration, and then if there is opportunity to bring in beta as we've done in the past, we open up the pit crew in the past, but we are looking for some mods for the server. So if you haven't filled out the mod application, you can do that over in I think it's the bounties channel, and mods will have first dibs on the beta testing, and then anything that we need more, we want to try to really stress test. We'll open it up to the server. So that's my spiel.
Sweet. Yeah, and honestly, to kind of touch on the bounties more, I think this is the time to take advantage of a program like that. The market's low. You can really stack a lot of Hville quick or upgrade if you are good at writing articles, doing Twitter things, TikToks. Like I said, this is the time I think to go for those bounties the market's low. Sure, it might be 50 Hville now that isn't worth all that much, but when the market recovers, 50 Hville at all-time high was over $50. So that's the way I'm looking at these bounties, is not just these bounties, but any bounties at this point in time. So that's my spiel on bounties. What's up, Benny? Bully, welcome on in. Hope you guys are doing well. Happy Father's Day to any of the fathers that joined. Woot woot woot. Yeah, and so like tire missions, the first mission is going to be tires. So you need at least level 2 tires on your Lambo. We know that. That is not speculation. But anything above that at this point kind of is. So we do know there's entrance fees. So you will have to pay a little HVIL, but it has been said that the prizes will definitely be worth the amount of HVIL you pay. You're not going to be losing money if you are successful in a mission.
Hey, Logan, you guys are, I think you're looking for info on occasion with that one weekly. I mean, if Bourbon and the crew and those guys can throw things together whenever they're ready, it seems like the one weekly is something that pretty much everyone's grabbing a hold of, because I see it getting thrown in Telegram constantly. It's on Twitter. People put it on Discords, but if you got that, if you threw a line, gave them a nice little, I don't know, 30-second or interview with, hey, check this out, this is what we got going on, and throw that together, that can really push things forward. I mean, or help get more exposure to it.
Yeah, we love that.
I'm hardcore with When Lambo, not because I own them, but like I've been watching them since the beginning, and they're always trying to help people out. You know how I feel about Sonic. Ed's in there busting his ass. I mean, I just think like the people that are sticking around here, if we can't, if we're struggling with like funding and shit like that, at least they can do right by like giving these people the exposure that they need. I mean,
Appreciate that.
I'm like hardcore on that.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, I'm definitely game to put a good word in and see what we can do as far as one weekly um, addition there. If you want to, just hit me up in the DMs and we'll pop you into some Telegram groups and get the ball rolling. So totally fine with that.
Yeah, awesome.
We'll see how
Thank you very
far
much.
it gets taken. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Nice. That's great. Thanks, guys. Anything to get the word out. Big ups. Megalodon, you got any speculations? I know it's late and you might be all sleepy headed, but
No, just thinking of what you're saying. I haven't actually bought a toolbox yet.
no.
No, I've got about 8 in total, but I've won a load on the Discord. Just thinking about what you're saying as well. If they're going to put these bounties up, it may as well go to people on the Discord rather than people outside, Like you say, it's a good opportunity. I don't want it. I'll happily test the game, but
It's kind of
yeah,
how I feel about it too.
Yeah, I reckon as well, as soon as the missions actually go live, things like the one weekly, they're going to be picking up on When Lambo and Harmonville, because it's like a working product then, isn't it? But it's pretty soon now. But we've waited a long time, but that's cool, because I'm accumulating HVIL as we go, so it's not a bad thing. The market's down at the minute. There's not a lot of people in the space, but the people that are here are pretty committed, so looks good.
Mm-hmm. And like that's the thing. Like as long, like you said, there's not a lot of people in the space right now. If we can keep building these projects out, and then when the bear market's in, ends and we get this big influx of new users and users coming back, and these products are basically like, depending on how long the cycle goes, way more built out than they would have been if these people came in at this point in time. Like when Lambo, when I started, all there was earn, right? So now people can come in after the bear market. There'll be missions, there'll be races, it'll be a fully, not fully built as it's an ever evolving project, but a more complete playable project. And all like, it's going to go up. It's going to make it more valuable when these markets subside and we get the old bull back, because Harmonyville's building. We got one verse building. Everybody's building still that can,
And
and that's excellent, because when people come back and see these projects, I think we're all going to be laughing because we stuck it out and fought through the the shitty times, for lack of better words. You know, hard times make hard men, soft times make soft men, and these are hard times.
to be honest, though, Rasta, it's like if you look at Harmony One at the minute, I'm a little bit apprehensive of getting into quite a lot of projects because a lot of them are maybe just winding up or getting financial difficulty, stuff like that. So I don't want to really put my money into any NFTs that are going to be part of a game that's not released yet. But I can't say that's not how I feel about Harmonyville. It's not how I feel about One Lambo because I've spoken to Boba and McWan, Little Shark since I don't know how many months on a daily basis. I mean, these guys really communicate with the community, so there's no. I mean, you're talking direct. I mean, Bobbin's here now, so it's you're talking direct with these people all the time. So yeah, I have the utmost confidence in the project that it's not going to rogue. It's going to do its best to go through its completion. And I've got to be honest, with a lot of projects on Harmony, I don't feel that secure in investing as I do in this one.
I think November, maybe even before that, because we drag you from the McOne server?
It was no. It was 29th of November I joined.
Yeah, but did we
I
drag
saw
you up from the McOne server?
no Little Shark took
No.
me in there.
Okay.
From well Lambo.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. I know it's been a while, but you've been one of the earliest.
Oh yeah. I was just hanging out, trying to get
Oh.
level up, get the whitelist.
Yeah. That was fun, man. All those crazy trivia nights.
Oh yeah.
Wild.
I enjoyed them actually.
Yes.
I
It
want to
was good.
play.
It was good to do some stuff in the Discord, trivia nights. Now we got the games going on. Just a bit of a distraction from the intensity sometimes of the rest of it.
Yeah, man, 100%. And like, to speak to your whole thing about, you know, being able to go into the Harmonyville Discord, and Bourbon's in there, you know, Nick One. If Little Shark ever gets out of his hammock, he's in there sometimes. But when he does, he'll usually drop us some alpha, so I don't mind that it's every once in a while, because it usually he comes bearing gifts. But in the bear market, I find, like we said earlier, lots of people have kind of stepped away for a bit, aren't really there. So I find it's a good time to go into these discords, because there's less people. You have a lot better chance to interact with project managers and get a feel for what they're doing, and see how active their announcements are, see if they are still building in this time. Like, it's a to me, it's a time to really do your research more, because you can kind of, in a bear market, every project kind of looks good in a way. Everything's hot, everybody's buying, buying, buying. But in a bear market, you kind of see what projects actually are building and have value, I guess, in a way. I am also just a silly Canadian boy who's kind of new to the space, but I don't know. I think I understand mental health and needing to step away during a bear market and times of stress, but I've also, like, before I started investing, I did a lot of research. But like the number one thing I always read was never invest more than you're willing to lose. And that's what keeps me sane during these times is, you know, I instead of going and buying some beer, I took that money and put it in crypto. It would have been gone anyways if it was beer. So now it's got a chance to make me some money, right? So that's my number one advice to anybody out there listening. Don't don't overinvest, don't over leverage yourself. That's what's going to get you stressed out in these times. And always remember that there is way more to life than crypto and tokens, bros and broettes.
That's
There's
blasphemy.
grass.
Blasphemy.
I mean, only in these times. When it's good, nothing else. But in these times, you got to remember that, there's grass, there's birds. Maybe there's not grass where you live. Maybe it's a desert. That's beautiful too. All the biomes are great. Enjoy what you got because some people want what you have. And you're the one that's got it. So be thankful. But races now. Races are a bit off. Not as much information on those. But I'm really looking forward to those. There's been talk of some cool cut scenes. We've seen some really awesome videos from Unity of the drag race. I really like the music in it. It's my style of music. But yeah, other than that, there's also a battle race that I saw, like some sort of battle, and that makes me think of Mario Kart or Twisted Metal. So I'm really, really hoping, fingers crossed, knock on wood, that I get to cruise around my rocket launcher Lambo and shoot some people while going over jumps, because that would be cool. How's it going, Mike and Shiraj? You guys are welcome to come up and talk, say whatever you like. We're just having a nice chill conversation on a Sunday evening. Harmonyville, When Lambo, Harmony in general, life in general. Good, man. How about yourself?
Pretty good, pretty good. Just on a walk right now, gonna get some papers.
Oh, brother.
Yes, sir.
That sounds like a good walk.
Definitely.
Sounds like I am a glassware man myself, but I understand the use of paper.
Well, I have a disgusting habit of smoking spliffs and mixing tobacco with it. So, spliffs.
Oh, don't you worry. I mix tobacco in my bowl, so I
Oh,
can't judge.
all
I'm
right, all
dirty.
right. Good company.
Yeah, yeah. Up here in Ontario, it's literally like, or even just in Canada in general, like there's a classified rap song that says we mix our tobacco with weed. It's just the way we've always done that shit. It's natural to me, I don't know.
Yeah, I know. I don't know either. I always thought it was like a European thing or something.
I think it's a poor people thing, personally, because it was like if I
That makes a lot of sense.
if I put tobacco in it, it lasts longer. It's
Yeah.
it's like cutting it.
And the tobacco. I think I'm definitely addicted to tobacco too at this point.
Oh yeah, now it's just like a double-edged sword. You're like, now I gotta do it. Now I'm stuck. Oh,
So have
are
you
you
played any of those
down?
games you were talking about?
Which ones? The old school NES ones, or?
You said something about drag racing or something, racing games?
Oh yeah, for Harmonyville here. So basically, right now missions are close to being released, and then after missions, the next thing on the road back is races, and they're not far off from what we've been told. So basically, it's just you can enter your Lambo in races and race people.
That's fucking sick.
Yeah. And I don't know if you've seen it, but there's a tweet post like pinned up to the top. If you share and stuff, you can get your hands on a pretty sick free Lambo.
Oh, retweeting.
Yeah, man, do it up.
Yeah.
Do it up. It's always good to get
So
some
when Lambo? In a few days, you say?
for what?
When they're when you can actually play?
So missions will be soon, and that's not really like the playing part. That's gonna come out later.
Got
But
it, got
you
it.
also in the future be able to just straight up walk around Harmonyville. It's gonna be like a metaverse kind of project, but they're building it in the correct way, I feel. You know how a lot of places will like, well, just for example, I'm gonna use an example just because it's easy and everybody knows the project. It sucks to have to use the name, and it seems like I'm talking down about it, but I'm not. I'm invested in the project. But like DFK, they seem to release parts of a
Who,
game
sorry?
that DeFi Kingdoms.
No, never heard of them.
Oh, I know. They're pretty they're pretty small. They're starting to make waves, but
Oh, okay.
they're like they have a habit of releasing things that don't really have a use case at the moment. And Harmonyville is kind of the opposite. They're releasing things to add more utility to the game, not just more ways to get funds, I feel. So like first thing they released was the NFTs, which got you passive Hville, and now they're releasing the missions, which is another way to earn more Hville. And then races. So they're basically building out, in my opinion, building out a project in a good way. They, started with their utility NFT for minting Hville to get the economy going and get Hville into circulation, and then gave utility to that Hville through toolboxes and upgrades, and more utility to that Hville through missions that are coming up, and then even more through races. And basically everything they're doing is adding utility, whereas some projects are adding things that you have to pay for, but you're not really getting any utility at the time, and it's a lot of speculation. Whereas Harmonyville is just build something that has utility and then move on to the next thing that has utility, and be very transparent about most things. Like, we know, I found out testnet was down because they communicated, hey, we're trying, but we can't get on testnet. And now it's because I guess Harmony is changing what testnet's for. It's more for like technical chain stuff, and DevNet is going to be for what testnet used to be, I believe, from what I've read. So that's why I guess testnet was down and there's a little delay. But yeah.
I don't know about you, Rasta, but I came for the Lambos. The Harmonyville thing is fantastic, but it's going to be so far off that I'm just at the minute, I just want to race my Lambos.
Oh yeah. Yeah, 100%. I'm ready to smoke some of you fools, for lack of better terms.
But it's
Look
nice
at
that it's nice to not have the usual, oh, it's a farming token, and you got an APY of 200,000% or whatever, and
yeah,
the usual stuff. It's they're taking time to do it, but they're building an actual game here. It takes time.
yeah, yeah. It's really weird that like people expect a fully functioning game to be built in like 3 months by an indie company in a game sector that is completely new and involves contracts that can cost people a lot of money if not done right. So it's like even a AAA title with 1,000-person team takes a lot longer than that to put out. So it's like I feel like people have a lot higher expectations for a quote unquote GameFi game, if you will, as opposed to a traditional game, even though it's like sure they're a little simpler in looks and play sometimes, and just for right now as it's a new sector, but there's just as much if not more programming going into it. So i I have no problem waiting.
I just want to say I got to run real quick, get the kids to bed. I appreciate the opportunity to talk a little bit tonight, and I'll be back around in the server. Chat with y'all later.
Yeah, man, have a great night, Burb.
All
Take
right,
care.
cheers, y'all.
See you later.
Yeah. So if anybody has anything they want to say about Harmonyville, missions, races, the metaverse coming up, or anything at all, let her loose, boys.
Rasta, what's that portal thing?
Say what?
The portal on the announcements. It's got portal. It's got casino. What do you reckon the portal is?
The portal?
Yeah.
I think the portal is going to be where you like you know how they plan to have like missions with other NFT projects.
Oh yeah.
I think that's going to be like where those like either you have to click on that to kind of bring your NFT into Harmonyville for the mission. I don't really know. I've been thinking about that, and that's really the only thing I've been able to come up with, because I know it's not going to be anything to do with like summoning or getting a new NFT. Like they've explicitly said, there's not going to be another Lambo mint for a reason. Like Hville's coming, so like I don't know. Honestly, don't know. What have your thoughts been?
Honestly, no idea. That's why I asked. Um, Interesting though. They can do another mint though. It just won't be Lambos. It'd be something else.
Yeah, and I think that like they've said they want to, but just not soon.
No,
So
definitely not soon.
yeah, so like it.
I want what you said, the portal to be another one, and I want dingoes to succeed because I've seen the open world that dingoes have shown. Don't know if you know anything about that, Jerome, because you got the dingoes profile and everything, but that looks absolutely awesome with the open world and the 3D Lambo. I would love to see dingoes succeed and just have like a Grand Theft Auto style drive around in your Lambo. Mind blowing.
Yeah, they're definitely working hard, and I haven't, like, I've been kind of spreading myself thin but on projects as of lately. But I really dug down deep, and that's another good group of guys over there as well. And I don't think they're as well known because I think some of them are from Australia, I believe. Some are in the UK, but they're like real quiet. They have been working hard on it. I did take a look at what their early development a few months ago, and I mean it was a little. It like I don't want to say that I set the expectations high or whatever, or it went under the bar. But since then, I actually looked at it and I was impressed. Like it goes again with what you were saying about giving everyone time to do the work that they need to do. Um, now is the time to work. The only thing is, the people that have you saved funds to continue working? That's the only thing that's the rough part right now. But yeah, that dingoes, it's gonna be. I'm surprised that it hasn't minted out yet. They're still below 50%. Like I'm honestly I'm grabbing one a week. I gave one away. I'm grabbing one a week just so I have them. I think the PFPs are cool. The guys are cool, and just like Win Lambo, I mean, just they're younger, but they grind. They're grinding. They you don't hear too much from them. I wouldn't mind having them get a little exposure as well. But I mean, hey, there are things here that we could talk about, that you guys can talk about in the community, Logan. There's a lot going on that I know that core team has their head down doing the core business, doing the tech side. But there is a lot of stuff going on here. There's a shit ton of stuff that, if you can't get the money out, at least give them the exposure that they need to the avenue that you provide. You hit all the platforms because it's going everywhere. People want to know what's going on, and by finding out about the tech, we can slip that other info, these projects, in to really give people what they need, and maybe they may feel a little more confident to throw a little bit of one their way.
Yeah, 100%. Like, that's my whole kind of view right now. Is like, I'm trying to run for CDAO, and like they got their funding cut off, and not trying to down talk anybody, but the funds they did have weren't really managed that well. And now basically we're sitting with a term ending and new governors up for election, and trying to figure out what to do. And yeah, like, my suggestion was basically that, like, we don't have much of a treasury at this point. All we can really do is grassroots it. It's bear market styles, man. Grassroot it, do marketing campaigns through as many sources as you can, and just get word out of what these projects are doing, what advancements they're making. It's good. It's what we need in this space, and the more people doing it, the better.
Dingoes has been around a while, hasn't it? I don't actually have a dingo, so I'm gonna mint a couple, I think, because yeah, they've been around a long time and
What is
they're not going anywhere.
what is mint for dingoes? How much?
501.
Oh,
Fucking $1,200 or $12 or some shit like that.
Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely gonna pick up a couple. Not just for one Lambo, just show some support, for a project that's been going for so long. And I've heard them on the AMAs. They are nice guys, decent guys. And also
thing. Go ahead.
yeah,
I just wanted to
Evo,
make sure that you knew. Go ahead. I can't hear you. I'm cutting out. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you carry on.
No, I insist. I'm sorry.
No, I was just going to say Evoverse as well. I won a whitelist of theirs on the When Lambo server. So I'm probably going to get some of those as well. Pick up some puffs because I think they're partnered with Harmonville as well. So it's pretty good, actually. All the projects seem to interlink with Harmonville, so it's good to know the projects. So yeah, I'm going to get a few of those, give them some support as well.
Yeah, man. It's really cool how the ecosystem is starting to all kind of intertwine, you know? And it's what kind of needs to happen. It's like Harmony is a single blockchain. Sure, we can all have our own products, our own things, but we can also all work together and make really cool things because this is Web3 where NFT ownership is huge and it game changing. Like you can like you said, you can drop your Lambo in Dingoes. You can drop your Dingo into Harmonyville. You can drop your Puff into Knights and Peasants. You know, like the possibilities are endless for collaborations and expansions between games. Like it's really, really cool. And we haven't even scratched the surface of what we can do. And I think this space is going to be amazing. It's going to be a long growing time for sure. But once it does bloom and become the beautiful flower it's going to be great. Like, I, I, I can't even imagine the future of this. Oh, G to the rocks. What's up, buddy? Welcome. Hey, Mike's back too, popping in and out. What's up? What's up? Have you got your papers there yet, Junior?
Yes, sir. I got him.
Nice.
Got to roll one up.
The night has gotten so much better. That's a win.
So, what are some project ideas? I know, yeah, we got the games and stuff, but maybe like NFT ideas. We got that for the community DAO. We got the pizza no or pineapple pizza no pineapple pizza thing.
Yeah. So, like NFTs for the DAO or just in general?
I guess in general, but for the DAO is cool too. Like, I don't know, like what would the badges look like or something like that?
So the badges, I don't know. I think that like with the CDAO badges, it would have to be more of like maybe like in my opinion, because it's a community DAO, uh you'd put out we'd put out like a call on Twitter or Telegram, all the socials, and ask people to submit designs and go from there would be what I think. And it would probably just be like a community decision because that's what it should be about, in my opinion. Like, yeah, the governors are a thing, but and they're just there to make things run smooth and enact community decisions.
Totally.
So, to be honest, I have no idea what it would potentially look like.
So would we like mention it in the town hall meeting and then put it to a vote so we can create
Yeah,
like a badge competition or whatever?
yeah, like basically that would be the best way to go forward. Um, Honestly, right now, I feel like things have kind of slowed a lot for things happening in the DAO. Like I'm sure town hall meetings are still going to happen, but I know a lot of the current governors are feeling a little left to the side after that Q3 Q4 report that got dropped.
Totally. Yeah.
So I don't know how much they're gonna want to put their time in anymore, which is completely fair, you know. Like I I'm running for this governor position fully knowing that I'm probably not gonna make a goddamn penny off of it, where they ran thinking they were, which they were told they were, and then this shit happened. So like I totally get it. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
but
It
Yeah,
doesn't
like,
mean they're not going to get paid, though. It just means the money's not there yet. And they've only got 3 weeks left.
oh, 100%. Like, that's another thing, too. It's like, if funding does come to the, as long as the DAO doesn't dissolve and it keeps running and eventually funding comes, they will get paid. But yeah, like, I think it's more of the emotional part of it than the monetary aspect for some of them.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
think
it seems like they're very into it. They've been doing a lot of stuff despite, Harmonious Dude or Peace, Love, and Harmony. They've been putting in hours without logging it and stuff like that. So,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Like, they all seem like solid people who have the best in mind for the community, and they just got stuck with a shitty situation at the end.
I mean, they've been dealing with. I've been following the DAOs, the community DAO, for a long time, and the progression of they're like battle weary, man. You got to consider, like, they get it from all ends. They're getting it from up top. They kind of just like got pushed out of the tree, and then whenever they go a certain way, no, that's not what it looks like. That's not this. That's not that. You have people there, like a few people like us, like everyone in here right now, for the most part, you're in places, right? So you're engaged, trying to get people to get engaged, and I have nothing to do with it. I like, I've met them. They're all nice people. I don't interact with a lot of people. I usually am quiet, but like, we're a select few, and to try to pry out information of what people want, that's also a rough thing. So like, I got like a soft spot for people that are truly have good intentions. And I'm telling you, I feel bad for them. I'm telling you, I feel like I feel bad for them. And the ones they're stepping out now, uh, I would never ask for anything going into it. Yeah, like with this right here, at Ragweed, like, I wouldn't even want to take money from this. I would just do it with good intentions, and then, at the end of it, if you're tired of it, walk away from it. You're done. But just be ready to give it 100%, and try to do the best you can. That's all you can do. And it's probably going to be a thankless job. I do a thankless job, so I know exactly what they're going for, and that's probably like why I feel so bad. I feel so shitty, and like, part of me, sometimes I want to walk away from this shit. I got kind of rubbed the wrong way a little while ago, but I'm sitting here asking myself questions, like, in my head, like, am I doing the right thing by not doing anything? It's a dilemma, but ultimately you're doing it for the people that are talking right now. You're doing it for the people that want some to make it better. Yeah, that's why you got to want to do it. That's why, hey, this person might not exactly know the structure of this person might not know how to do this, but I would have that person's back over someone that committed for a little bit and then quit, or this is not my thing, and didn't try. That's where I'm at. And if I can tell when somebody's giving 100, if they're giving 100, man, that's all that I can ask for at the end of the day.
Yeah, like, I 100% agree. Like, it is probably one of the shittiest positions to be in. You have the core team telling you what to do, but not giving you any direction in how to do it. You have the community coming at you from the bottom, and then you, even within the board of governors, you have disagreements. It's basically just shit, like you said, shit in all directions. And I'll be honest, that's kind of where I thrive. Like, I have no problem with confrontation. I have no problem. Like, I've worked in kitchens for 21 years now, since I was 13. So basically, like, my whole life has been just shit thrown at me. Sometimes literal stuff. So you know, uh, I'm good at that, and I'm good at grinding away. And I will admit, I am not the most technically talented person when it comes to Web3 and deving and all that stuff. But I am fucking passionate about harmony. And I think if we can get through this and keep the community together and just keep people informed about the projects, keep linking people up to projects, like that's all we need to do right now. Money doesn't need to come right now. Sure, people need to get paid, but there is so much you can do without money. I I worked at a community radio station, not worked, volunteered. It was also not a paid position. I was the president of the radio club, and like we had board meetings, all that really boring shit. But like like yeah, we didn't have money. We were a poor ass community radio station, so we just had to like work it the best we could. I set up a whole weekend festival with bands, a poetry reading, art show, silent auctions, and I spent $0. You know, like people are willing to help if you ask them and they see that you're passionate about what you're doing.
Sorry to interject there, Rasta, but I was just going to ask before you said you did it for nothing. Did you ask for $100,000 grant to do that?
Oh man, we so halfway through my working there, our only form of funding was we would get, so it was through Queen's University, which is like a pretty big university over here in North America. And the student fees, part of your student fees, every student paid $3. Well, that wasn't their student fee, but $3 of their student fee went towards the radio station for like upkeep, and like we boosted our transmitter at one point in time so that it went further than the city limits, basically, kind of thing, like, so like the money was always spent on things that mattered or updating equipment, but like honestly, probably one of the coolest things I did. Like, I love crypto, but I love music, and the amount of music, it's actually, you can look it up. It's the largest physical music collection in Canada. And so like it's just a basement filled with records, cassettes, CDs. There's always more boxes coming in, and it was so beautiful and so fun. I just brought bands in, and like basically what I'm doing now, like I would bring in small time bands who needed some coverage and needed some publicity, and I throw them in this little room that was like maybe 5 by 6 feet, and throw them in there with their acoustic instruments, maybe a box drum, do an interview and have them play a few songs and just shoot the shit, and hopefully get them some new listeners and have a good time while doing it. And it costs them nothing, it costs me nothing but some time, and hopefully we all made out a little better because of it. So I feel like I kind of have experience in exactly this kind of situation where there is an industry or a company with no funds and needing to do stuff still.
That's super cool, man. Like, that sounds like a super cool experience to have.
It was pretty awesome. I'm not gonna lie. half of it was a really selfish reason. I got to listen to free live music every Thursday night. So like, yes, I was helping bands, but man, I got to watch bands play live just for me, like personal acoustic shows, which goddamn.
Yeah, one of the things I really like to do is take a bunch of instruments out and go jam somewhere, like just out somewhere, and bring some solar panels so we have power and we can amplify the music and stuff.
Nice.
Yeah, it's not as scaled as the things you did, but yeah, it's a fun time. I was like even thinking it could be a good onboarding thing. So like if people wanted to tip, like we'd only take one, like Harmony or whatever, and if they didn't have it, we can like exchange it. So it'd be like a jam/crypto exchange.
Yeah. Yeah, and like that's how we get crypto more accessible in the real world is more people just need to do stuff like that. Like, you know, like where I work at this pub, and me and a few guys in the kitchen are into crypto. One of the owners is kind of lightly in, so it's like I'm like I want to try to push, like we should start accepting crypto. Like even if we're not getting much in crypto, it's not going to cost us much. And it like the amount of money we could make out off of it and the amount of people that might come and use it just for that reason, right? Like be that cutting edge. I know it sounds weird, that cutting edge British pub, but why not? Why not? The world's all about weird things like Megalodon's Wigan kebab thing. And for anybody who doesn't know what that is, it's a meat pie, a potato and meat pie on a goddamn bun, like a sandwich.
What?
Yeah, it's crazy. He sent a picture, and I was like, this is like, are you sure you're not in Canada right now? Because we carb load like that. I'll, I just like, so does everybody here know what poutine is? Anybody? Show of hands? Poutine? Oh
Hey,
my
I don't
God.
like Putin, man.
Okay, Logan knows. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. One of you is not a goddamn heathen. So in America, you guys like love your French fries and gravy. Like that's a thing. But why have you guys never friggin' thought to put cheese on them and then smother them in gravy?
There's like the wild style at In-N-Out. Animal style, sorry, animal style. Have you heard of that?
The animal style?
Do you guys have an In-N-Out, or is that just California?
That we do not have In-N-Out in Canada. Or just wait. I think we actually got our first one in Toronto. Yeah, so we have one, and it's in Toronto. So that's like 2.5 hour drive from me.
Oh snap!
It just opened. I'm gonna say like 6 months ago.
It's okay. I think In-N-Out's a little overrated, to be honest. And the price is terrible, except if it's animal style.
My fellow poutine knower, what did you have to say?
Well, I went to Toronto and they had some fireweed. I will give them that.
Oh, we got
How,
fire weed, bro.
oh my, oh, it hurt my spleen a little, but
Uh,
it it had my buddy flipping for 3 days. But on the plus side, I had poutine from McDonald's every single night.
And that's even like the shittiest poutine,
I
bro, and
know, but
it's
it was
still
still,
amazing.
I know, it was still so good. Like, okay, you've heard of cheesy potatoes. Duh. You've heard of cheesy fries. Duh. But have you ever heard of cheesy fries with KFC gravy on it? No, you have not, my friend. That is poutine.
And it's so fucking good. Oh, squeaky cheese curds and like hot gravy. Sometimes I'll get really high, and there's this place downtown that's called Bubba's Poutine. Like they just like it's a pizzeria, and anytime you order a pizza, you get a free poutine with it. So it's fucking dope when you get super baked. And sometimes I'll go in there, and I know the girl because I've worked downtown forever, and she's worked there forever. And I'll just go and be like, Jackie, can I get a poutine, but
Oh,
with
in
no?
Kingston. Up there in Kingston.
Fuck yeah, bro.
I got a Kingston down here in Ohio.
Yeah, up
I
in
just
Kingston,
shot a
Ontario.
I just shot a Kingston wedding last night.
That's insane.
That's so nuts, man. The world is too small, dude. Hey,
uh,
glad to talk poutine. We can talk more Harmonyville. We can get back on the topic. But
I
just
need to finish my poutine story first.
oh, go
So
go go go.
I will go to Jackie, who's like she's like the bar mom, like the bar worker mom, because Bubba's is the only place open after you get off work. And I'm like, Jackie, I'm really high, and I don't want fries with my poutine. Can you just get me a bowl of cheese and gravy and a fucking spoon? And she'll give it to me. And I'll just eat a bowl. I call it cheese gravy soup. And I will send you guys a picture if you want. I only weigh like 120 pounds. I'm not a fat ass, but I'm pretty sure that my veins are so chock full of goddamn cholesterol that I'm going to die in probably 3 years. But I'll enjoy the 37 years I had eating gravy and cheese curds with a spoon. And sometimes I'll just melt chocolate in the microwave and eat it with a spoon. Like I'm pretty stoner. I'm not an adult by any means.
I mean, hey, most of the TikTok people just eat straight up cocoa powder. Just straight up cocoa powder. Like not even with milk. You can't afford that. You just eat the powder. I
That's
don't
so
get it.
bitter. That's so bitter.
I know. Like your at least your cheese curd and gravy method sounds fantastic.
I've also went to Dairy Queen, which is like I don't know if you guys have Dairy Queen down in the States,
Oh
but it's
yeah.
like an okay, so I've went to Dairy Queen and I'll just get them to sell me a cup of fudge. Like I don't want the sundae. Just fill that cup up with fudge and charge me whatever the fuck you need to, because I want to shovel it into my goddamn mouth. And they
Megalodon,
usually
how appalled are you right now?
I'm 33. I'll be 34 in October.
Oh,
So
this is
I'm a grown ass man. Like I have two kids. Like I have an 8 and a 9-year old. You know, like I am by no means should be like this, but you know, you got to hold on to the things you can, because you got to grow up with some things you don't. I'm a Peter Pan this shit for as long as I can when it comes to food. That's all I gotta say.
the Happy Father's Day.
Well, thank you, thank
Yeah,
you.
happy Father's Day, man.
I I celebrated yesterday with my ladies, my little ladies. There was a music festival in town, so we went there and checked it out and had ice cream and all that good jazz. Today was work day and cook food for other fajas. And then I hung out with my dad today. We all went out for a all you can eat buffet, and I ate way too much. and it was the first time my girlfriend has ever came with me to an all-you-can-eat buffet, and she was kind of like, "Are you gonna get any vegetables?" And I was like, "I paid good money for this. I'm not gonna waste space in my stomach for vegetables. I'm gonna get all the pork, beef, and chicken, and desserts I can cram into myself. Like, I'll eat vegetables when they're the cheapest thing for me to buy at the grocery store when I go shopping, not when I'm paying all this money for an all-you-can-eat buffet. I'm gonna eat as much prime rib as I can, and all that shit. I'm gonna eat more than $35 worth. I can tell you that much. I don't know what that is in American. Probably like $10 because we have funny money up here. But and it just keeps going down because our Canadian dollar sucks.
Has anyone played Coke music? Like, it was a weird internet thing back in the day. Sorry, I'm changing the switching gears here.
Switcheroo.
Switcheroozy.
Coke music.
Yeah, do any of you remember that Coke music? You'd like make these songs on the web on the thing, just like by dragging and dropping like certain sounds and whatnot, and then you'd play it for people, and then I don't know, it was just like pretty fun, and just seems like there should be an crypto version of that now on Harmony.
Okay, so like I just looked it up. It kind of looks like there was like a whole like almost metaverse to it, right?
Totally, absolutely. Yeah.
It was kind of like, it looks like it was kind of like that Hobo or Habbo hotel thing that was big for a while.
Oh shit, I'm not sure what that is. It's kind of like The Sims, but like Minecraft version of it, I guess.
Yeah, like that's basically what I envision metaverses to be like, just like.
Or I guess it was a fixed. It wasn't like the third person view. It was like the God view or whatever. I don't know what you call that view, where like Age of Empires view.
Yeah, I like God view.
God view.
Get to watch all over all your little peasants.
Dude, you're hell funny. We should have a stand up too, like stand up night. That could be good.
Oh, don't put me on the spot though. If I had to do it for like being funny, that's
right?
not gonna happen. I'd just sit there silently and be like Garth from Wayne's World and just be like, and fucking, what's that? And then just leave the fucking space and everybody would be like, where'd he go?
Oh, I got rugged.
Yeah, I just rug you guys. Like, oh, comedy night, psych. See you guys never. Delete my Twitter. Delete everything. That's the joke. I'm leaving.
I don't know, man. I smell some talent over here.
I'm also really high, so that could be it. I mean, really high on life, Twitter. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Now I picked up some stuff called stuffed French toast. It's a hybrid at 23.9%. It's not bad. But up here, like, weed is starting to get way too cheap at the stores. It's great. Like, I can get a quarter, so 7 grams of like 25.5% weed for $25.
For $25. 25
That's
Canadian?
25 Canadian dollars.
That's
So
like
that's like,
$15, dude.
yeah, bro.
A
Yeah,
quarter?
That's for a quarter?
for 7 grams, man. Like, and this shit is called Funk Master. It's a curated blend of Kush and gas strains. Yeah, so
You,
like,
you're speaking languages I haven't heard yet. I appreciate you.
It sounds lovely.
oh, y'all need to come up here sometime. We'll get so fucking ripped. I like during work today, it was like kind of slow in the afternoon, and my one buddy was like, "I think I'm gonna do some edibles after work tonight," and he like never does them. He's like, "What should I get?" And I'm like, "Well, what do you want?" So I like pulled up the menus of the stores, and we like browsed, and it was a real cute experience. And he was like, "Oh, that like mint chocolate, that mint cookies and cream bar looks kind of nice." I was like, "Yeah, fucking, I'll get it. Let's do it." And then there was like a root beer, an infused root beer. So I was like, "That's what you want?" And he's like, "Yeah." So I like dipped out of work for a second, went down the block. Just from my work, I can walk south, east, or west a block and a half, and I'll get to a pot store any direction I go, other than north. So I went east this time to the Eastern pot store and grabbed that for him. I grabbed myself a can of infused cola and a joint for the walk back. You know, just blazed the joint, got back and cracked my cola at work, and I was like pleasantly impressed by how good the cola tasted.
I'm just picturing like people people in the restaurant all pissed off, like looking around where my shit at, and he's walking just trotting down the store buying shit. Oh my god.
Yeah, man. You know, no, I had homies there. They had it on lock. And yeah, so I brought him back his stuff. And then, like, he texted me probably 3 hours ago now. And he was just like, "I'm fucked and had to go home. I'm going to order a bunch of Chinese food." And I was like, "Okay, but like, are you okay, man? Like, you are at home and you're good?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm good, man." I'm like, "Okay, that's all that matters. You're having a good time?" He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Sweet." Then you just go enjoy your Chinese food and whatever video games you decide to play, my friend. But yeah, it's great in Canada. You can literally smoke anywhere you want other than indoors, basically. Like I can walk down the street and smoke a joint anywhere. I could even like pull out a bong and rip a bong on the sidewalk and nobody can do anything, technically. I mean, I might look a little silly, but like you are more free to smoke weed than you are to drink alcohol. Like in Canada, like I know in the States, there's a lot of like open liquor laws. Like you're allowed to, well, I guess it's county by county and state by state because the states is weird, but I know there are places where you can have open alcohol and walk down the street. You can't do that here.
Yeah, in my freaking downtown, they just walk around my studio, just like literally open container, drinking and carrying on every single day. It's
Yeah,
nuts.
yeah. Here you get a ticket for open alcohol. You'll get a ticket. They'll take it, and if you're at all intoxicated, they'll slap you with a public intoxication ticket as well. But
Oh my god.
you can go and smoke as much weed on the street as you want. Just don't disturb anybody.
That's how it was in Toronto. That's you could smell weed over the cigarettes.
Oh, everywhere, bro. That's what Canada smells like now. It's just one big fucking weed cloud wherever there's a city. Like I can like
Well, I mean, and
anytime.
look at the other drugs that have come down in use
Yeah,
since the legalization. It's completely bonkers. It blows my mind, but it's real. It's not fake. It's not like flat. It's not fake numbers. Like you can't hide that. Like
Tell me more.
it fixes so many problems with humanity.
mm-hmm.
What other drug numbers came down?
There's a podcast I watched a while back from a Canadian that jumped into a lake, basically butt naked, and he got himself. First of all, let me back up. He was a straight A student at a local college. He jumped into a lake butt naked and then decided to start on like his drug journey, and that was how he started. And so like he literally tried to jump through all the hoops and like correct me if I'm wrong, I might be, but there's like safe shooting drug zones in Canada where like you can literally like walk into a facility and like they will help you safely shoot up. Sorry, Twitter, my bad. But that's in Canada. That's a legit thing, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
And so,
there's
do
one a couple blocks from my work.
yeah, so like that alone is already helping the population like get detoxified because as soon as they go in there, they're given references and they're given documentation and they're given help, and like that's what people need. Like
Yeah,
that's what people need is to know that there's a process and a way out. Like most people don't know that there's a way out. They just know that they need their next fix. And
yeah, and
like,
that's where Portugal really has it right too, in my opinion.
hmm,
Like in Portugal, like they decriminalized all drug use, all personal drug use, and if you get caught with drugs, you don't get arrested because that's not going to help somebody who's using drugs. They basically take you and put you in front of like a tribunal. It it there's no other way to put it, but it's a panel of like trained drug abuse experts in like psychology, neurology, uh therapy and shit like that, and they talk to you and find out why you're using the drug and if it's an issue. Because like some people use drugs and it's not an issue. Some people are able to occasionally do meth or do whatever and not become addicted to it and use it as somebody uses alcohol. So yeah, like I don't know. I feel like Canada is very liberal in our drug beliefs because we've seen like right now there's like a huge opioid crisis going on where like everything is cut with fentanyl and people are just dying all the time and it's super fucking shitty. Every week I see some sort of posting about, like avoid this substance because it's been tested and been found to have this in it. And every drug bust I hear about up here now is all like your normal drugs and then a huge bag of fentanyl. Like, so it is a huge problem that needs to be addressed. And I think we've started to realize that. And another reason, too, I feel we address it more is we like we have health care here. So if you let a drug addict continue to be a drug addict, that's going to put a lot more strain on the healthcare system in the long term than if you try to prevent and treat the addiction, right? Whereas in this, like, you're not getting money. Like, a doctor isn't getting any more money for keeping an addict, right? Like, whereas in the States, that addict's getting a hospital bill or it's getting paid by insurance. So there's kind of more of like, not to sound shitty, but there's kind of more of an incentive to not put those programs in place because you have the big medicine kind of lobbying. But up here, because the government pays some of that healthcare bill, they don't want you to have healthcare bills all the time. And drug addiction will cause that. So I think that's another reason we're a bit more forward thinking on it.
Makes sense.
But yeah, how's it going, Beaks? See you jumped in here. Throw you a mic if you want to talk. If not, no worries. It's just chill. We'll probably wrap it up in a little bit here. It's getting late for some people. But yeah, I'm super stoked. From the sounds of it, Bourbon said missions should be imminent. It sounded like there was just a cutscene that was left to throw up, and then yeah, we get to send our Lambos on some missions. But you got to have at least level 2 tires, so make sure you got some toolboxes on your Lambos.
So wait, I'm looking at the Harmonyville website right now, and where do you get these? What's the toolbox? What is this toolbox business?
So are you on the app?
No, Harmonyville.one.
Yep. So basically, there should be like you got your loading screen, and
Uh-huh.
it has like your name and like your amount of one and your amount of Hville.
I think I'm on the intro's website. Is it on the phone only, or?
You need a WenLambo NFT.
Oh yeah, you need app.wenlambo.one.
Harmonyville is going to be the bigger project. And of course, you need a Lambo,
Oh.
Yeah.
but you can rent them. Go for it.
What? I'm confused. So how's this connected to Harmonyville?
Harmonyville is this project.
How come
Basic.
it doesn't connect to this on the website? Or unless wait, what was that website I was on? Harmonyville.one?
Yeah, there is a Harmonyville.one.
Harmony Protocol?
And this is
Harmonyville
so
is going to be like a big metaverse thing, basically. Whereas WenLambo NFT is going to be a standalone game, but part of that. When you have the Lambos, they produce this token called Hville. And Hville is going to be used not only in WenLambo, but also in Harmonyville with what they're doing.
God, because Hville is the main currency of Harmonyville.
Yep, spot on. If you actually go back and listen to last week's Community DAO AMA, where with Bourbon, yeah, there's some really good questions in there. But yeah, there's loads covered in there if you want to really deep dive it.
Oh, okay.
yeah. So basically,
Oh, this looks like some cool stuff.
yeah. So basically, like Megalodon said, there. Right now, the first part they're working on is building out. They needed to find a way to mint Hville, so they created the When Lambo NFT project, and basically, a base When Lambo NFT. They've all been minted, so it's all secondary sales now. You can buy them on NFT Key with one, or you can buy them on the WhenLambo.one with Hville.
What'd you say? NFT key?
Yeah, NFT Key. And that's where you can buy them with one. And basically, they have what's called speeds, and speeds range from 1 to 30. And so a base Lambo, like all Lambos start at 1. And basically what your speed is the amount of Hville you'll produce per day with that NFT. And right now we're at max unlock for emissions for the next about year of block time, which is 70% locked and 30% unlocked. So basically, every 10 Hville a day you earn, 7 will be locked, and 3 will be available right away to do whatever you want with.
Gotcha. And so when you buy the Lambo, that's kind of like depositing into a pool or something like that to get yield.
Kind of. Yes, if you will. Yeah, so like, but the thing is too, when you purchase a Lambo, all the locked tokens that have been claimed are locked to the Lambo, not to your account. So when you buy a Lambo, you'll also be getting all the locked HVIL that comes with it. So like that's kind of like I like that because it's a safety net, in my opinion, to keep people interested in the game owning them.
Got it. And so how does the unlocking work?
So basically, right now it's 70-30, and it'll that started a couple weeks ago, and like these are not exact numbers again, but basically, um, it's going to be 70% locked, 30% unlocked for a year of block time. Block time is really important to make sure I say because that could be a year and a half of real time depending on how the RPC times go and shit, right? So
Gotcha.
basic,
And
ba-
did you say it was a gradual unlocking or it suddenly all unlocks?
it is a gradual unlock. So basically,
Got it.
you'll get after that year is up, uh, it'll go to 100% emission. So any HVIL that your Lambo produces from that time on will be fully unlocked, plus 1% of your locked balance a day for 100 days. So your locked balance will unlock over 100 days.
All right. And okay. And it looks like it's like $10 or so for one of these right now. It's pretty reasonable. Try it out.
Yeah,
Well, it's
no,
about
honestly,
1101.
yeah, and
Probably for a one speed.
Oh no, this one's like $50. Wait. Oh, that's the locked balance. Never mind. Buy. Okay, got it. Damn,
yes,
man.
If you got a fully maxed one, you're pumping out 30 HVIL a day, which means that with 30%, you get about 9 HVIL a day that's unlocked, and the rest is locked.
Gotcha.
yeah.
Yeah,
So like,
do a bit of research as well. It's and watch the. You need to drop a trailer, Rasta, because that's a good trailer.
yeah, I'll find it on their Twitter
No
and
pressure.
post it up.
When Lambo, right now.
Yeah, hopefully, what couple of weeks maybe we could get missions. Who knows?
I think it'll be less than that personally. I think we probably would have had them by the end of this week, like today, if the whole testnet migration didn't happen, because like it sounded like they were close. So I just pinned the Harmonyville trailer to the chat if you want to check it out.
Yeah, for sure.
That's like the grand plan kind of thing.
Oh, cool.
It's a pretty cool video. One of the dudes on the team made it. And
Nice.
the really cool thing is you'll notice how epic and great the music is. The dude who made it is like partially deaf.
All right.
It's Megalodon's son, Little Shark.
He's gonna need a minute to watch that because it's like a 59-second video.
Yeah.
Do you go do any more of these, Rasta? These YouTube spaces. The second one now, isn't it?
Yeah, this is the second one. I'll probably keep them going. It gives some people something to do when the markets are down.
As soon as it drops, though, there's going to be more to, you know,
Yeah, and we can
more to
talk.
discuss.
discuss the old Harmonville missions.
How many Lambos you got now?
I still have 8, just a measly 8.
Eight's
Damn.
good.
My goal was originally 5, so I've fucking crushed that goal. Now it's hold off on buying any and focus on upgrading the urn, because
Right.
after
Yeah.
maxing that first Lambo, I was just like, oh my God. Like, literally, I'm at the point where it's like, it stacks so fast now. Like, I imagine after I get my 2 Lambos maxed, because I'm almost halfway through my second one.
Rasta. I've got 18 max Lambos.
Holy
Oh my
fucking
god.
Christ.
So I mean, one of the things I'm doing, and there's a couple of people in the server as well, we're not buying like the Lambos on the main site with the Hville to kind of let people go get into it. New players. Smith Dog put up a few for auction as well, didn't he? Was it like one Hville starting price or something?
Yeah.
So we're just like hoping to grow the community a bit. You
Well,
know,
that's exactly it. Like, it's another great thing I love about the project is like all the larger holders are super nice and like know that basically we need lots of holders and are willing to part with their Lambos to give people deals to get them into the protocol. And it's amazing. It's great.
I got 57 now in total, but I decided to stop at that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if you get 50,
57 Lambos?
Yeah, just 57, but there's people in there with 200 plus.
Not
Yeah.
messing around.
Yeah, there's some people in there with some garages, let me tell you. I'm I'm just a wee Lambo holder. I'm just one of the little duders making my way.
Yeah, I'm looking at the cheapest one here. I'm like, maybe I'll dip my toe in so I could be part of the group here.
I don't even know what floor is right now.
Floor is 349 Hville.
349 Hville. Hville is at, just give
About
me
9
one.
cents.
Yeah.
I had a look before, and it might have changed. It's been a few hours, but NFT Key was coming up cheaper than buying in Hville.
Oh, okay.
It usually does right now
I don't know
because
if you use NFT Key, but if you don't, it's basically or anyone listening, if you actually get any listeners to watch this, it's basically the go-to site for any secondary market. There's others available.
How do you spell that?
Hey,
How do you spell that?
NFT Key, NFT KEY.
Oh, I was like tiki, like an island thing.
British accent, sorry.
No.
Yeah, you got all the major projects. If you link it with your Harmony One MetaMask, it'll bring up loads of projects on Harmony One.
That's what's up. They're on a lot of blockchains. They're on more than OpenSea, right?
Yeah, it covers most ones.
Damn.
But there's other secondary marketplaces available on Harmony as well. Metadome, however you pronounce it, that's pretty good. But yeah, I tend to use NFT Key myself.
Some good alpha right here. See what we're looking at.
so the floor on NFT Key is 349 Hville times 0.092. So you're looking at $32.11 for the floor on WenLambo Marketplace.
Yep, sounds about the same.
That's actually really pretty surprising, actually, when you put it into all terms.
Yeah, and there's one, so that comes with 129 locked H bill, or there's one same price for 130 locked H bill.
Is this the project that the two young guns were working on that you guys were talking about? The younger guys or something?
That was Dingoes. Dingoes right now you can still mint, and they're 501, and they're gonna basically the whole thing with Harmonyville is they want to like kind of bring multiple Harmony One projects together. So you'll be able to like let's say you have a Dingoes NFT, you'll be able to there'll be missions that are locked and only people who have a When Lambo NFT and a Dingoes NFT can do it.
Got it.
Right? So basically it's like it incentivizes holding. And okay, another thing that I've kind of heard speak of, which I think is kind of cool, is it's a way to give life to rugged projects as well. So like basically, like let's say a project, God forbid, will say, or even right now, so the Gophers project, right? It's
Mm-hmm.
technically dead. It's in transition right now. There is a new team acquiring it. The acquisition's almost over, and I'm hoping it takes back off. I bought a few to support one of my buddies who's helping it out. But yeah, basically, like let's say they don't acquire it and it ends up rugging, and all these people have these NFTs that are basically worthless, right? With games like Harmonyville and One Verse and things like that are looking to like bring together multiple projects and Dingoes, you can let people have uses for these NFTs possibly that have been rugged if you can get access to the codes and shit like that. So it's a cool way to throw in projects that aren't really around anymore and give use to assets people have that they're kind of stuck with. So that's kind of cool.
I don't fully understand, but that sounds cool.
So yeah,
So
so like basically
uh-huh.
it'd be like you have like we'll say, like not dingoes, but gophers rugs. The project can't go on. So like all these people still own gophers.
Right.
So basically you can program a mission in Harmonyville or One Verse that uses that NFT as
Right.
well, right? Or
Right.
even just have it so you can load the asset into the game itself, right? So you could load your gopher into Harmonyville and walk around Harmonyville as your gopher. So sure, it might not have like financial value anymore, but it has use case.
You can give it use case, or someone can like basically come in and save a project and be like, oh, let's do this with this rugged project.
Yeah, as long as you can get the necessary code, you're basically good, right? Because that's kind of the cool thing with Web3 NFT gaming is like it's not like Activision where you buy a gun skin and Activision still owns that gun skin. Like you own your NFT, you own the rights. Like we've kind of seen this in the news recently with Seth Green and his silly ape that he lost, and he had a whole show written about because owns the rights to it, and then
He
because it
bought it,
got
right?
stolen,
He bought it.
he bought it back. Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah,
So,
basically, yeah. So that's why it's because like ownership is true ownership. Like the NFT is yours, so you own the rights to do whatever the fuck you want with it.
well, I mean, those ones had legal rights too. I think the NFTs, if you just make an NFT, there's no legal value there. I don't think yet, right?
Um, I believe it's ownership. Like you like if somebody takes one of my Lambo NFTs and makes art out of it and makes money, I'm pretty sure that I can take them to court because they've used my assets to profit off of without
Copy
consent.
paste.
Yeah, they basically copy and pasted this art that I own the rights to without permission.
And
Be the same as somebody just taking a song that I wrote
and
I
and
that's
just
what
feel
owning the
I'm
like
like.
rights
I've
to.
heard that that's not the case for NFTs. For like Board Ape Yacht Club or whatever, that one is legally they created like legal backing for it, and they gave it like intellectual or no sorry with the Board Apes, yeah, they gave them intellectual property rights with those. But then I think like if you in the case where you take them to court, I don't know if the court's going to protect, and you're like maybe they'll protect the project that made everything, but I don't know if owning the NFT, if that, like, I'm totally talking out of my ass though. I really don't know what the legal status is, but um I just think it's so new that I don't think there's been a precedent set yet. But I don't know. Does anyone else know?
This is one of the things why when I get NFTs I tend to get the gaming ones because they have utility. So you can obviously right click, copy one of my When Lambos, but you can't actually get it to interact on the blockchain and do missions, playing the game, or do anything. So, but yeah, it's a big thing for traditional NFTs that basically don't have any use case other than for the art.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Gaming NFTs. I'm all about utility. I never really got into the NFTs for the art. I made like this ant thing you see is one I made. Um, but yeah, and the but yeah, no, utility is definitely something I'm looking for, and in terms of gaming, like I haven't found a game that's fun yet. Like that's kind of one of the key things for me. If I find something that's actually fun, then I know we're in business. But until then, it's just speculation in my mind.
Yo, 100%. Like it's all about what can be built right now and not what is built. But I like from what I've seen, like before, I think before you hopped in here earlier, Bourbon had mentioned that they just hired a new dev on who is a wizard with Unity. And so maybe something's coming quite soon that's up your alley for what you're just talking about like playable gameplay instead of just the old click and collect.
Yeah, because they're always on about the 3D modeling, aren't they?
Yeah, like that's
Mm.
their big thing that they're on about is like basically they keep showing us 3D Unity models of Lambos and saying that like all the assets have been 3D developed and we're going to be able like quote unquote you're going to be able to drive your Lambo around Harmonyville, you know.
Like
So
GTA, is that what the guy said?
um So that was Megalodon talking about.
I was just talking out my ass, but yeah, no, that's what they want to do. I think with dingoes, eventually the first thing, the drag races and the missions, it's going to be pretty much like it's a bit like that other project, that big one, um, where you have an outcome. You know what I mean? But with
Sorry,
One Lambo, they're going to have visuals, cutscenes to make it a bit more interesting than basically a quest.
right?
Yeah,
Like a Fast and the Furious type game.
yeah. So basically, like what they're thinking with missions right now, uh, so that they could get them out and keep having kind of new stuff come out is like, you know how with a lot of the things with quests right now, you're just click a button to send your dude on a quest, come back when the quest is finished, click collect, do a transaction, and then you get to see your rewards and it's over, right?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't even play the DFK ones. The ones I played this weird one, Poly Pulsar, and it was terrible. I kept losing, clicking the button and just losing money. I was like, oh my god, what am I doing with my life?
Yeah, so like this is more like you'll click a button, it'll do all the smart contracts behind the scenes and give you a like a cutscene kind of thing of the outcome and then reward you. And I'm not 100% sure. There was talk of like if there was time, possibly making it like Lambo specific. So like if you used Lambo 3409, it would pull up the 3D modeling for 3409 and put it in the cutscene. But I don't know if that actually got put in.
That's pretty snazzy.
Yeah, so like they're definitely going for a lot more of a
I'm envisaging myself like, I don't remember Ridge Racer,
yeah,
where you used to get the replay at the end. So
yeah,
I'd love that as a cutscene. But yeah, I love shit like that.
yeah, man. Yeah, so that's what I see is just like a cool little cutscene at the end instead of just like, oh, transaction complete, flash your rewards, press exit on that, and then go about your day. It got a little bit more of like a, oh, okay, so my Lambo is doing something. It's not just a smart contract interaction.
And it's all specific as well, isn't it, with what XP you get from your specific Lambo that you're using or the one that you're renting and what mods it has on. So, and it's not just a case of which Lambo like has had the most money spent on it, because there's something in the Git book is it's not all like you can't just spend loads of money, top out a Lambo and it's going to beat everyone. They've got little things in there that are little like idiosyncrasies to it. It's pretty complex, but yeah, it should be pretty fair as well.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm
And
thinking just get one Lambo, max it the heck out, and then I'm just gonna do every mission I can in it, and that'll cover me for missions.
yeah, that's my thinking too. I just have one, throw a bunch of toolboxes on it, and hopefully go. And then once I'm making enough HFill, maybe specialize a couple others, like get one that's kitted out with boost, one that's kitted out with tires, one that's kitted out with brakes, because I'm guessing it's going to be like there'll be, this is speculation again, but I'm guessing there has to be a cooldown for the amount of time in between missions you can do. So I'm guessing like a refuel time. You got to refuel your Lambo.
Originally, it was the 2 hours, but I don't know if that's changed.
Yeah. So like, and that's per Lambo, right? So if I can have a Lambo for each mission, I can run more missions and pull in more HVille each day, right? Instead of just one that's maxed out. And let's say there's like 3 missions that can be ran. if I only have one toolboxed out Lambo, I can only run one of those missions at a time.
And I'm looking forward to when they drop as well, because every toolbox is 100% burnt, isn't it? So it's like 100 HVO for a toolbox, but it all gets burnt, so it reduces the supply.
Yeah. So like, that's a good thing to mention. So every toolbox that's bought, it is 100% burn. So 100 HVO is burnt every time a toolbox is bought. And also, anytime somebody upgrades their Lambo, whether it be a tier 1 upgrade, a tier 2 upgrade, or a tier 3 upgrade for their earnings, reflections are given to all other Lambo owners. So the more Lambos you own, the more you'll get in reflections, obviously. But yeah, the tokenomics are pretty cool. And also, like, if, a lot of games are looking outside to kind of have their scholarship program, if you will. Whereas what I like is Harmonyville has already thought of that and is going to build it into their system. So basically, there'll be a section. I believe they said in the showroom or somewhere. Don't quote me. It's probably not, they probably aren't even sure yet. But where you'll be able to put your Lambo up for rent. So basically, it's like a built-in scholarship program where you can rent your Lambo out and somebody can just do missions with it all day and they get to keep all the earnings. And from the way it sounds, they'll also earn the unlocked HVIL that comes along with it. But I'm not sure if that's true or not, but it's a good way to get more people into the game and to try it out if you don't want to drop the money on a Lambo right away. And it also does one of the things that I think is the best part of crypto and gives an opportunity for people in countries that aren't really the best off to make an actual livable income somewhat. Like, sure, in Canada and America and the UK, $3 or $4 a day isn't going to cut it for us. But if I can rent a Lambo to somebody and they can make $5 a day in some really poor country and it makes a difference, that's what this is all about, in my opinion, is helping those people when we can. So it's like, let's find a way to do that. And Harmonville is answering that question in their own protocol and not even looking outside for like a guild to do it. And that gave me a lot of respect for them. I'll be honest.
How big is the team for Harmonyville?
Honestly, I can't give you a full number on that. The only ones like that are very forward facing are Mick One, Little Shark, and Bourbon, who was in here earlier.
Okay.
They're always in the Discord. Like they're the ones who came up with the project. Like it's their baby.
And did they like hired devs? Did they hire devs to work on the stuff, or
Yeah,
are they?
Yeah. They have devs. They also have their own skills as well. They've all been business owners prior to this, which is a very handy skill to have. You kind of have dealt with some shit that comes with a startup that a lot of people don't really think of, which is nice as an investor.
See that?
Bourbon, sorry, Bourbon did answer that on the AMA. I don't want to give a number of how many devs there are behind the scenes because I honestly can't be 100% sure. But yeah, there's a few devs behind the scene on it, and it's definitely on the community DAO AMA.
Yeah.
Thanks. Okay.
So it's a good team behind. It's not just a couple of people and what have you. Like, I don't want to give a number, but I've got a number in my head.
I'll grab you a link to the AMA and I'll send it. I'll post it up.
Thanks.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Crypto makes the people come together. Yeah. Bum, 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 bum.
So they kind of want to make it so people can make NFTs and give them utility on with their token, or what exactly are they making a meta? Oh yeah, they're making a metaverse type thing, right?
Yeah, and also, so like basically you'll be able to eventually you're gonna be able to list other projects in the marketplace as well to buy with Hville or sell for Hville. Yeah. And
Got
Yeah.
it.
HVIL is going to be the currency that drives the metaverse of Harmonyville. It's going to be that makes everything work.
mm-hmm.
So the token, in a way, it's good that you're asking these, because if anyone's listening into this podcast, they're going to get a lot of info from the questions you're asking. And I'm no expert, but usually in a game, the utility is just in the game itself, and they've decided to try and build more around the utility of the token to give it more kind of value to it, rather than like a Mars colony thing where it's, I don't want to say, don't want to go too much into it, but some projects have limited utility, the tokens.
Got it.
Yeah, and like they're also wanting to do things like with like the whole metaverse thing. One of the things that I want to try to do, like I said earlier, I'm not a dev. I'm no good at this stuff. Maybe I can find somebody who will help me eventually, but I want to build out basically the Harmonyville department store and build out basically like an Etsy style site that you'll click into, and each person, like, you can have your own booth or store in the physical store in the metaverse, and like you'll walk in, and when you walk in the store, if you can either set it up so, like, let's say I own a store, I could put NFTs of everything that I sell in the store, and then people can purchase them. And not only do you buy the NFT, but the NFT comes with the physical item that will be mailed to you, kind of thing. So you can set up like personal marketplaces to like peddle your wares, if you will.
I love that idea. Yeah, a little metaverse Etsy.
Yeah, so like basically like even throw in like have like your music section where artists can come in and put their music up for sale. Buy my album that I just dropped for, 301 or 300 Hville, whatever the price you put on it. Or, look at my NFT collection. We'll have an art section. We can have a clothing section for people who make clothes, have a jewelry section for people who make jewelry. And yeah, you buy the NFT will get you the actual product.
Yeah, that's cool. Have you done that before? Like sold a NFT and then mailed over a product?
I have not personally, but basically it would all it really comes down to is cloning Etsy, more or less, or making a really simple shop. And you could probably do it with WordPress, to be honest, and then link that into the department store. But basically just have a crypto plugin and put in your shipping information, and then when you complete your payment, you'll complete it in Hville. Once the Hville goes through and the contract verifies, that the blocks verify, it would go to the merchant, and the merchant would have your shipping address and send it out to your shipping, just like your wallet would receive the NFT, and you could even like get the tracking number somehow put onto the NFT for your item. But it's definitely doable. It's just finding the way to do it. But I think I can.
Yeah.
It's all kind of speculation as well at the minute because they're kind of dropping stuff, but keeping a lot of stuff like close to the chest as well.
Yeah, like that's why I wanted to put speculation in the title of this. Is like a lot of the metaverse talk we're having right now is speculation, because they have been kind of hush hush, other than showing us like some really bomb ass 3D Unity videos. But they've been kind of hush hush on the whole really detaily aspects of the metaverse. But Bourbon did say the other day that he like, like he wants it to be like a real community driven metaverse where people have like, his example he used would be like, there'd be like the Harmonville radio station where, like all the podcasts would go and things like that. So I know they are kind of thinking towards like building out like a real town, and I have brought up the Etsy style storefront, and he's like, yeah, like basically I don't have like basically it's just gonna be, if you can make it happen, is what it sounds like. But again, there probably will be restrictions.
I would speculate that when Harmonyville is fully launched, if you've got an idea but you kind of lack a bit of knowledge or you need some resources that you don't have, that I speculate that they may be able to assist you in finding them. And who knows how far that's going to go. It could even go as far, well, I don't know what I'm going to say, but yeah, it could go quite a long way.
Sorry, I forgot I was supposed to be looking for that link to the AMA with
But yeah, hopefully it's going to be more utility than just like a lot of projects where you just stake it, farm it, use it in game.
Yeah, so I just posted up the link to the AMA with the community DAO.
Oh, right on.
Are you in the When Lambo Discord or Harmonyville Discord?
Negative. I don't believe so.
There's a link on the profile of my Twitter. You can, if you want to jump in there.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks. Sounds
Yeah,
good.
man. They're like Bourbon's usually around most days. If you have any questions, or like one of us in the server, if we know, we'll definitely help if we can.
You can ping them as well. They'll answer. They're pretty much on all the time.
Yeah,
Right on.
yeah. It's not. They're definitely not hoity-toity about getting pinged. Sometimes we do it just to piss them off and tell Little Shark to get out of his hammock. Like, get out of your hammock, you lazy shark, and go do some programming. And And then like 3 hours later, he'll hop on and reply and be like, "Oh, sorry guys, I was just lounging about like a lazy shark." And then we're like, "You son of a bitch!" And then he'll drop us like a really cool picture of something, so that we can't actually be mad. And be like, "Well, look what I have been working on." And we're like, "God damn it! Okay, go back to your hammock. You
You're
win.
doing fine.
You're doing fine. You must have a laptop out there. Go back."
And he isn't my actual son, by the way. They're making a joke because I'm big shark, he's little shark.
Nice.
Yeah, and that's what I like about the server too, and the crew is like they talk with all of us. They joke. They're they're just as fucking weird as the rest of us. You know, they're just dudes. They're just dudes, man.
Just
They've,
dude.
And
they've been around a long time now.
yeah, like that's the thing. Like they're not new to the space, but
And I think they're pretty much financing it themselves as well. It's not, it's
yeah, they're a humble group of guys. I'll give them that. They're a really humble,
yeah,
down to
for what
earth
they
group of
are,
guys.
for sure.
Yeah,
Because they're not just like a couple of kids, like say they're business owners. You can have a laugh, but yeah, they've got a serious face as well.
yeah, like, and that's what's kept me around partly is like they are how I would run a business, you know, hands on, listen to your community, communicate with your community, and let them know that you're a human being, like it's great. Like Bourbon tells us all the time that he's like, I ate 2 more bowls of ice cream today. I'm a fat ass. I need to go hit the gym really hard tomorrow. And I'm like, oh man, I ate a bunch of ice cream today and I'm a fat ass. I
Man, I
connect.
had so Starburst and M&Ms yesterday. Felt like a
And
fat ass, but I'm not. I'm like totally not a fat ass. I should feel bad for even saying that.
together, like you ate them together.
Yeah, just one after the other. Actually, it was like little Starburst, little M&Ms.
Oh, dude, I'm gonna try that because I love chocolate covered gummies. So I imagine that's probably dope.
It was very satisfying. It was like just a treat to the tongue.
Nice. I'm just gonna brew a quick pot of coffee here. Wink, wink, nod, nod. Say no more. Say no more.
I'm getting some tea going myself.
I gotta get myself one of them percolators myself.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
percolated coffee is the
yeah,
best.
you can't beat it, can you?
No, it's so fresh. It's really nice.
You
The
just got like the
bubbling.
smell as well of like the smell hits you of percolated coffee like that.
Oh, the pungent smell of percolating coffee.
It's it's been so many years since I've had a percolated coffee. It's yeah, a long time.
But well, Canada has some of the best percolated coffee.
I think I'm gonna come up to Canada at some point and nip into a coffee shop and get myself some percolated coffee for sure.
Oh man, there's quite a few percolated coffee shops right around my area that you can nip into with a fine selection of coffees to be
Sounds
percolated.
good.
That's how I'm just gonna call it that from now on. I, I really like that. No. Oh, there's the cough.
What
Coffee,
what
coffee always
blend
makes
of
me cough.
coffee are you drinking tonight? Are you brewing tonight?
Right now I'm brewing. It's a Funk Master, or
Ah,
In French, it's
I thought it would be Italian, but yeah.
no. I
French
only
blend.
smoke Canadian coffee.
Canadian coffee,
I
yeah.
only brew Canadian coffee,
Uh-huh.
and in French, it's called the Beast of Diesel.
Oh.
The Diesel Beast. That's
Is
what
that like a deep roast, is it? Or is it a more lighter flavour?
It's a little diesely. It's a little gassy. It really hits you in the back of the throat. But it's good. It's good. It's definitely more of an evening coffee than like your dessert coffees. It's more like a dessert coffee. I have some nice stuffed French toast coffee for the morning time. It percolates pretty good in the morning.
You've got a coffee for every time of the day.
Well, you have to have a coffee for every time of the day when you're a coffee connoisseur. My lady friend is in here. She's going to percolate herself a cup of coffee. She overheard me and smelt it and said, "Oh boy, I could really go for a cup of coffee myself now." I want to get funk mastered. The names of coffee these days. Oh my goodness. Watch out. Coffee hits her pretty hard, so she might cough a little bit. She might get a little coffee. It is Father's Day. I can make dad jokes, guys. One day.
That sounds like a quick exit right there on that one. That sounds like my time. I'm joking.
I'm probably going to wrap this up pretty soon here, though. It's been going for like almost 2.5 hours. And
it's all right. Good.
I have some stuff to do tomorrow, so.
Hey, shout out Chaotic Beauty. I see you jumped in there. I was actually looking at Findora today. I didn't know you had anything to do with him.
Findora.
Yeah. I think I'm going to jump in that.
Nice.
That coffee sounds harsh.
Yeah.
I warned you boys, she's not a good coffee drinker. She's newer to the coffee scene.
She also has asthma.
So
she's a dumbass.
You said it, not me.
I have asthma too. I cough a lot.
She is a dumbass, guys. She's not in the room, as you can tell. What's up, Chaotic?
Bro, I literally walked into my room. I'm doing some laundry, and I heard Findora or Findora. I don't know how you want to say it. Findora. Like a. Findora. Say like what's his fucking name? Like the Scar. What's his name? Like the Z. Zorro. Like Zorro.
Zorro.
Yep.
Findora.
I have come. My name is Findora.
the mark of Findora.
Your transactions are no more, Findora. Jumps around and fucking. Not your average explorer. Fuck Dora the Explorer. I'm Findora.
Findora. Slashing fees. Findora.
You'll see me in multiple places. You cannot catch me during the night. Interoperability, Findora.
Findora. My name is Findora, and you killed my father.
Near protocol. He was very near, but I am close. I'm Pandora.
I'm Findora. Findora means closer in Spanish.
And it also, I'll fuck your mind. Pandora.
Holy fuck.
I'm dying.
Happy Father's Day, Pandora.
Oh shit.
It's nuts, bro.
Oh, that was great. I needed that. I needed some Findora in my life. I didn't know it at the time. Now I do.
I bought it at like 6 cents. Like everything went down, but like now it's like a tenth of a penny.
It's so spicy right
Bro,
now.
like you can get a validator for $10. Like that's nothing. Like crazy. It's yeah, no, I'm excited about it. We're going to NYC. We're gonna pop it off as much as we can.
So I need to get a nice entry point right now.
I personally think it's a pretty saucy move. It's in my opinion, it's a unicorn. It's a definite unicorn.
I thought so as well, as much as I was reading on. How many validators do they have active right now? Could you tell me?
We just hopped on 3 of the Harmony validators. Like JCR was trying to set up one. We got Patrick Node, Easy Node. He jumped into the fire into Findora, and then there was a few, but there's about 71. At least the last time I checked. Right now.
Awesome.
Nice.
I'm sorry. What's Pandora?
Don't you give up alpha. Here we go.
I'm like,
let me buy first.
I don't want to sound shilly, so I'm just gonna say that like the best thing about it is that you can think of it as an oracle. Like I like to think of it as like a chain link or like a graph or like some of these types where it can basically you can just plug it in to anything on Ethereum and you would just enable confidential transfers, which is lit because it's like privacy, like the whole zero knowledge thing going on right now. It's
What's the difference between it and Tornado Cash?
Yo, everyone asks me this shit. Like everybody asks me, like, what's the difference? And it's it's just it's the plonks that it's using, which is like the plonk.
Gotcha. Yeah.
It's like a better plonk, and they're the only ones besides Zcash that can enable triple masking, which is called a turbo plonk, which is it's like that's short for being absolutely out of your fucking mind. Like it's like.
You put turbo in it, of course.
Bro, like the snail, bro. It's crazy though. Like I jumped in 6 months ago and I bought a bunch, but then I didn't know where it was going. I'm like investor first. I mainly do business for them right now. And who was on it? Omniverse fucks with Findora a lot because of the whole privacy, like cross-chain NFT type of thing. But like I can send an NFT in a private way, so like the whole private art market thing is gonna open up. And then there's just so many things. Like my brain has been just all business for Findora for the last 2 months now, but I'm hella bullish. Like in every way. I can talk about it for fucking hours, bro. Like there's so much to it. And it's different too. It's like I can say a few things like it's got a Tendermint consensus. So that's like Cosmos. It's like if Cosmos and Zcash had a baby, it would be Findora. And yeah. And it's like it's like it can so basically like you can.
What's Tendermint? I'm not familiar with that.
It's the consensus model. So how they issue blocks to the blockchain, and they do it with consensus together. And Tendermint is like the core consensus that like Binance uses, that Kronos uses, that Atom uses, or Cosmos, and a shit ton of others. And so like everybody in the world right now can go to Cosmos's like GitHub and they can fork their own blockchain, which is why it's so cool. But so like they did the same thing, but they didn't take all the other stuff. They just took Tendermint and then they just made their own thing. And this dude who died, his name was John Powers, I think. I don't remember his last name, but John P or something. He was like, he put this project up on the pedestal back in 2014 at Stanford, and they got like $25 billion, bro, to create this research project so that they can apply zero knowledge proofs to Ethereum. And it was at the same time that Diffie-Hellman came out with his new kind of UTXO model, and he won the Turing Award for it. And so then he became the senior advisor to the Findora project back then. And it took 4 or 5 years just to implement the research into programming, like Rust code. And now that they did this, they launched EVM, I think in 2020. And then they've been hustling ever since. And like, working with them, it's like a completely different engineering culture. Like, these guys are just like, it's like psycho how much they work, and it's a lot, and they're hella underground, and they know that they haven't marketed anything. And I'm like, are you guys worried about that? They're like, no, it's just, time will come. People will realize that certain things will fade away, certain things will stay in the business. And it's just, we happen to have one of the best operating systems for Ethereum. And I'm like, what is that? And then you go even further and you learn about like zero knowledge. You learn about the importance of privacy on Ethereum. You learn about like why that's going to make the merge even possible, because there's less intensive memory hashing power that Ethereum would have to issue to its own chain. And that's through the use of zero knowledge proofs. It's just a less intensive encryption of the same hash that they put onto the blockchain. So that's where you see the rise of like ZK Sync and Horizon and Oasis and all these other projects. But they're doing it in their own way, like how Algorand has their own little thing going on for them, like own private chain, like Stellar is their own kind of personal chain. See, like Findora is just a plugin. So it's its own ledger that Ethereum can basically take advantage of, similar to Chainlink, where how Chainlink just indexes data to all these different projects. And like Graph, like it does the same exact thing. And then they have a token that is the utility behind that technology. So the FRA token, the utility token of Findora, allows literally any smart contract on Ethereum to issue its own stable coin, any token, doesn't matter what it is, NFT coin, whatever the hell. And you can use Findora to send a transaction on Ethereum from address to address, but it uses the Findora UTXO. And the UTXO is that's the same shit as like Bitcoin and Cardano. So it's like a one-to-one full transfer of money. Like there is no ifs, ands, or buts. It's your money went from point A to point B. And so that's really important when it comes to like digital currencies, is like you want to know that your shit is like secured when it's going from point A to point B. So that's like the underlining ledger. And then it commits the EVM side. So Findora is a layer 1 blockchain with a layer 0 UTXO. So it's like insane how like great. Like, I don't know, man. Like I'm just like looking at the whole thing and going, damn, like this is crazy. And then all the Harmony folks that I was messing with, like working with Steven and working with all these people, they all know Findora. Like they know that these guys work in Palo Alto. They know that like they know everything. This is how it helps.
Oh shit, they're in Palo Alto? Nice.
Yeah, like fucking there's Pledge Network and all these other people who work in the same building in Palo Alto, and then like Findora is in the same office. And so like we go there and we see what they're doing and all these things, and I see just where they're at. So yeah, there's some cool news that I can't like totally disclose. It's basically like they have better confidential features coming out like in July. And then right now my job is to try to make sure that as many like projects just plug Findora into their contract, because it's not hurting anything. They can build the same Solidity contracts, same whatever DApp, DEX, doesn't matter. But then you can just plug in this API called a yellow submarine, which is like a really good way of explaining the whole fucking Findora thing. Because if you imagine like a submarine that goes under the water, and then it just like pops up somewhere else, wherever in the world, but you don't know where it went. You don't know what route it took, anything. Like that's basically
Right.
Findora. And so you plug this API into a contract, and then it just enables zero knowledge transfers on Ethereum.
Okay, so I'm starting to understand, or am I let me know if I'm getting this straight. So for Tornado Cash, it's more of a layer 2 solution. So you actually have to bridge over to Tornado and then bridge out, and you do the transfer on Tornado. Findora is, you're not actually bridging over to the Findora. Yeah, so is it different? You don't have to bridge to the Findora blockchain. It's a plugin. So when you do the like how would a transfer look?
Right.
Say you want to send Ether, right, to your friend.
Right.
If you send it through Findora, how does that look?
You would just do it normally, like with any other, like from one OX address to your friend's OX address, like from MetaMask to MetaMask. If the app had the yellow submarine plugged in, so try to imagine this. It does, in a sense, bridge, but it's not bridging away from Ethereum. It's just bridging it using into the UTXO so that the transfer is then zero knowledge. It's not a layer 2 where a layer 2 you would have to take the contract, commit it to something else, and then you would have to do the transaction there. But then on a layer 2, it's not on Ethereum anymore. So on Findora, you're basically going from layer 1 to layer 0 instead of layer 1 to layer 2. So from layer 1 to 0, you use a bridge, which they call the Columbus bridge, and the contract is called the Prism contract, where when you send the transaction on Ethereum to another Ethereum address, you're basically sending it to Ethereum, but you're basically allowing the UTXO side, the networking side, to then take that transaction, turn it into a UTXO asset, and then the UTXO does a one-to-one transfer across the ledger, the UTXO ledger, and then it basically plops it back up using the same bridge to the other person's address. So it's a little confusing, but it creates a bridge between you and the other address, essentially, rather than you and some other ledger or you and some other protocol. It has to create, in order for it to work at all, it has to create a relayer, essentially, like an atomic swap between you and that other person. So what we say is not an atomic swap, like what we say is an interatomic, which is a physics term for like the boundary between the atom and the electron, where they're the same thing. Like without the electron and without the atom, there is no matter. So that space in between those two bodies in a particle, that's essentially how you can think of the interatomic transfer between one address to another. It's just issuing the contract from one address to another using a UTXO transfer protocol. That's why we say it's more of like an oracle. So if I want to send you a confidential transaction, I can do so by enabling my contract between you and I with the Findora EVM. And this is great because you can plug this into any layer 1. Right now, it's only compatible with Ethereum, but since the UTXO is literally a UTXO, you can put native assets from Bitcoin, from Cardano, from Cosmos, from Solana, from Polkadot, from Near, really any layer 1 that you want. And if they have a native asset of their own embedded into the UTX, the layer 0 of Findora, then you can do a full confidential transfer using the token and not having it be anything else. It's not a synthetic token. It's not a wrapped token. It's a one-to-one transfer using that token. And that
It sounds like it's taking the transfer function of the native blockchain and like just encrypting it or something.
essentially, like that's why it's more of like a plugin rather than anything else. It's the blockchain that Findora is. There's almost like two different blockchains. There's the UTXO chain, which is just issuing confidential transfers, the encryption of real tokens from one to another address. The EVM ledger is essentially allowing the UTXO ledger to notify itself, like, hey, this is an Ethereum token or whatever, a coin. So let's create a bridge, an intra-atomic bridge between this person's address and this other, because it lives on Ethereum. So the two contracts, the Solidity contract and the UTXO contract of the same token, of the FRA token, the Findora token, it's one and the same. It's the same exact token. It's just that it lives in two different places. And that's how they go about doing it. And like,
This is pretty mind blowing, bro. I gotta like look at this more.
yeah, bro, it's like it was hard for me to wrap my head around it, but like it was like when I realized just what they did, I realized that there was kind of no other options, because the other option is making your own pre-compiled contract. So like this is what Harmony is doing right now, where they're saying, quote unquote, that they have ZK, but they don't. Like, in order for a ZK transference to happen, there has to be an encryption that happens along the road of doing a transfer. So when you're doing a transfer, like either the contract has to be ZK, or there has to be a protocol that's essentially initiating a confidential transfer. There's no other way. Otherwise, it's just fake encryption, or you're using a layer 2 like Tornado Cash or Zcash or Monero. And so that's the difference. And then also on top of that, the most unique thing about this is that you don't have to have it be confidential. You can still use Findora, and you can choose one of three parameters. You can choose any of the three parameters and choose whatever one you want. So any token has three parameters, and it's the asset type, like an NFT. It's the asset amount, which is like how much it's worth, and then the recipient, which is the receiver, or the sender, the person that's sending the contract. And you can encrypt all three, or you can choose one of the three, or maybe none, right? So we say
that makes sense.
It's like programming privacy into whatever you want. So like what we say to developers is like, okay, go nuts. Like, just whatever it is that you want to have privacy enabled, you can choose which things are there or not. It's nuts.
And you said they could do it on Bitcoin, on the Bitcoin layer too?
Technically, yeah, because it's still like a Bitcoin is a UTXO. It is a token that lives, and so technically, yeah, like you can take native Bitcoin and put it on Findora's operating system, which is the UTXO ledger itself. It's layer 0, and if there was enough like liquidity, like right now with a bridge, there has to be liquidity that's staked to the bridge in order for people to make a transfer from address to address. And most of the time it's like app token of the same Bitcoin or whatever, like wrap Bitcoin or like 1 BTC for Harmony and all this. So like there's a lot of problems with that, because you're essentially relying on the network to complete the transfer, rather than like you can just do a 1-to-1 match, and then from that 1-to-1 you have a full like paved route for your transaction to go, and there is no ifs, ands, or buts. And the cool thing is knowing programmatically how that works is that if it wasn't written in like C++ or Rust or anything else, then you don't have the security at all, because the security comes down to whether or not the code itself can be stopped or broken. So this entire thing is built in Rust, which is like operating system level architecture where the code will not fail. It's why people in Cosmos and Solana build with Rust, is because the security of the token cannot be anything else. You can't break it halfway. Once you start the transaction, it will finish the transaction. And if it doesn't, it knows how to go backwards. That's the interesting thing about C++ and Rust, is that it goes forward and back. Solidity only goes forward. And if it goes forward and it stops, it can get lost. And that's what happens to a lot of bridges, is that they collapse, or they get fucked, or they just get hacked into. It's a better protocol in a lot of ways. On an engineering level, it's a better protocol than most that I've seen.
It almost sounds like it could bridge across blockchains.
Yeah, like they already have 4 bridges that are in the works right now. Like 2 work right now, which is a Binance bridge, and then and then the Ethereum bridge, which is in testnet right now. But we already said this in articles, so there's like, I can say this, but there's a Polygon bridge happening right now to Findora, and then there's a Phantom bridge happening to Findora, and they're only doing that because they want to bring in more liquidity. But like, that's like, for me, you know, like, I'm like, okay, that's dope. Like, if I'm going to get into this, then I want to make sure that I'm not just like, you know, buying new assets. I can just get in and play with the DeFi money that I already had and get into a new protocol. So otherwise, you can just like get Findora on KuCoin right now. And then once you're in Findora, the only way that you can like mint and generate Findora outside of buying it on an exchange is on FairySwap. So it was like a protocol built swap, and it's like, it's centralized in a lot of ways. So I'm not like 100% super down for it, but then it makes sense because it is their own way of like trying to build a generation zero application. So they have nothing to gain. They have everything to lose actually because of it. And that's why 100% of the tokens are just owned and minted only inside of the liquidity pools. And yeah, so like there's a shit ton of rewards. It's like $60 million in rewards that people can just be generating right now. And that's how I get my Findora tokens. And I've gotten about like around 300K right now. And yeah, I'm just kind of like crossing my fingers and being like, all right, when are we going to get this to like, you know, 10 cents? When are we going to get this to like 20 cents or something? Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's like super low right now. What is it?
It's like $100 was going to get you like 76 grand. Like I was looking at it, 76,000 or some shit like that. Like I was looking at it last night.
Yeah, it's a tenth of a.
I mean, I think it went up a little bit, but I added the Median article and I was looking through it last night and this morning.
It's pretty saucy. The fees are pretty cheap too. Like right now, it's 0.05 FRA for a transaction, and that's like standard. It's never gonna go higher until they have to like expand, and like it's going to be mainly up to the application developers to increase the fees. But the protocol has kind of said like, no matter what, it's going to be 0.05. If we have to lower it because the token goes way up in price, if it was like $1, then that means it's 5 cents a transaction for a confidential transaction. So we're like, okay, if it ever got to that point, then obviously we would lower it down to like less than a penny, maybe even half of a penny, probably a half of a penny. Because like having encryption on top of everything else that's on Ethereum, like encryption and doing all these things is like really computationally heavy for a blockchain to do. So it makes sense that they're having like some fees that are higher than like a layer 2, for example. But like when I looked at it, I'm like, you know, I don't even mind the Chronos fees, to be honest. Like the fees right now are like 90 cents. Like at least when it was like a 46-cent token, like a few months ago, I still wasn't like, I like my balls weren't busted because it was like that much more expensive, because the like the pools on Chronos, on crypto.com, like on Mimos Finance, like I only got into Mimos Finance because of Defira. And I know that like they're going to create that bridge with Defira tokens, and they're going to have like Defira on Chronos. So I was like, all right, I'm going to put my bag right now on Mimos and kind of like just wait it out. But like when I get my money back from doing my stake, like I'm generating maybe like $70 a week right now. And like, that's great. And I'm like, okay, but then it costs like $1.50 just to get that back out. And then all the other bridging that goes into it is super fucking painful. It costs like $5 to get $70 from Chronos right now. And I'm like, okay, we're not going to do that, because Chronos makes a lot of money for everything that they're doing, for everything that they're connecting to, all the free marketing that literally everyone's getting because of them. So layer ones, these new networks, the old networks, the current networks, they're all going to have to like figure something out where it's like, how are they going to market themselves? So like the problem with Findora is that not really a problem. It's just like it's a taboo to talk about privacy, because like people think naturally when I talk to a lot of people that privacy is like illegal, especially in America. Like they just think that if I do anything privately, then that must mean that I'm like doing illegal tender or like I'm laundering or something like this. But then like you go deep enough into like what laundering is, and it's not a problem. Like as long as people are able to provide proof that that transaction was theirs, then they can have a confidential transfer. Like if I got a shit ton of money in the mail, no one should know that I'm what's in my mail until I provide proof of what I got later, like for tax purposes and for all this stuff. So unless you don't do that, then yeah, that's money laundering. So it's not that privacy is a problem, it's that people not reporting their assets is the problem when it comes to like laundering. Otherwise, like Monero and Zcash would have fallen a long time ago if that was true. So yeah, like that's some of the surfacing that I'm like currently kind of headbutting with right now. But I feel like that's like an easy kind of thing that we can understand or having like a consensus about, because everyone's going to start doing ZK in the matter of like a year or two. A lot of shit is going to be ZK.
Thorough explanation. I appreciate that.
I know. I told you I was going to like.
No, that's what I need. Listen, this is exactly why I jump on these spaces. Like, if people do not understand the gems, how much I've learned off jumping off of this. You, in that like 20 minutes, you made my day. M87, you totally missed it. You got to get hooked up with it with Chaotic on that Findora.
Yeah, I'm gonna get some Findora. But unfortunately, gentlemen, I do have to take off. But 'twas a wonderful chat tonight.
Wonderful.
I'm sorry, M87. I'm sorry.
Walmart was more important tonight.
Oh, good, bro.
But yeah, you guys all have an awesome night.
All right, brother. Take care.
Yeah, talk to y'all soon.
Peace.
Bye.